Hey guys, how's it going today? Getting set up for the stream here. Let me let the players know that it's almost time to go. This is going to be the Rogues tournament, the semifinals. Let me pull up kind of the standings here. Alrighty. Here's the bracket. So we have the group stage, 16 groups. I think most of those completed their games. We had some that did not, and my face is frozen on the screen. That's good. All normal things here. Still frozen. Let me reboot my webcam here. And you guys can look at the bracket. Hey, and I'm moving again. So that's good. Didn't even have to see a doctor. All mobile. All right. So here we are with the bracket. We got had quite a few groups in this one. This was one of the larger beginner tournaments because of that video that came out, and hence the name for the Rogue tournament from the Modern Rogue video. We're all the way over here in the semifinals. Today I'm going to be able to cover the Lemon Lime and Ornable. I'm not sure if I'll get to cover Boris and Scalpel, but I would like to cover the finals when it gets to that stage. So, where we stand now, I hop on over to PlayTac, and I'll let those two players know that we should be good to go. And then we should see a game pop up here in a minute, and we'll get to watching. The board scan that I'm using today is one from the recent contest. So this was the second place. This was from Knock. This is the kind of on the diamonds play. I did Gruppler's board, which he won with last time, which was kind of the concentric rings where you play on the squares. And we'll wait for that to pop up here. But this one is a play on the diamonds. Guess while we wait for that game to pop up here. Oh, here it is. Was going to go over the prizes that these guys are playing for. I can try and jump through those real quick. So first place we'll get to pick between the Wolf and Hawk capstones. These are metal capstones from World Builders. Or a beginner travel set. This is one that I laser cut, and then I add the tavern pieces from World Builders onto it. And then anyone who did their best to complete all their games gets entered into a lottery, and they will be able to win. I think we're giving away a couple copies of my book and a couple high-level game reviews. So it doesn't have to be a game from this tournament, but one which the player competed in, and then they will be able to get some pointers for moving ahead on their tech journey. All right, back. They might be waiting to confirm what's going on. And if you guys are hearing that knocking noise in the back, that's a cat playing with something in the bathroom. So we'll We'll see if he'll calm down here in a minute. All right, real quick again, this is My Lemon Lime versus Ornable, which looks like Ornable is going to have the white pieces on this first game. And this is brought to you by the U.S. TAC Association. So if you guys are looking for a way to support TAC, then you can join as a member, get access to special tournaments that we do. But mainly, you would just be supporting TAC. This maintains playtac.com, which makes it free for anyone with an internet connection to play TAC. Also supports all the prizes and the conventions and kind of the getting the word out about TAC. And we're back. Let me make sure I'm not anything here. All right, we have the first stone on the board. And looks like we're going to start with some opposite corners here. And the knight's opening. So again, this kind of knight pattern for the white flats here. And black immediately trying to steal tempo with an edge crawl. White ignores, continuing their formation over here. They will have to address this because right now black is ahead on tempo. However, the edge crawl is a very fragile attempt at tempo. Not saying it's not powerful, but if it's shut down, it is shut down pretty completely, and so then you have to pivot to another direction. And you guys feel free to throw stuff in the chat if you'd like. It will be on a delay, and that's so that no one playing the tournament ends up watching for tips and hints. But when I do see your questions, I'll get to them. A little bit of development on the board here. Looks like we have continuation of the edge crawl and a barricade of it, and then so black went all the way over to e5. E5 is a little bit of a reach when all your stones are here, and it's not in a straight line continuation of anything. So perhaps something like e2 would have been better there. Okay, and again, black is still just ignoring white over here pretty much, and trying to take that tempo. But now white has reached a threat first. That is a soft stop, just a barricade there. Flat. See what white decides to do. D1, F1, D2, E2, any of those are reasonable. D2 does give you a little more building going horizontally. And then now something like F1 is really powerful. You can continue to build this way, but you're giving black the opportunity to put more stones on the board. So now black is probably going to have to cut over this e5 over to the right. Game clacks are much louder than microphone. Oh, Well, that was unexpected. Trying to multitask here. Poorly, of course. So we had a missed road threat, which is very popular, not very popular, but very common in TAC. So we had placement of capstone here, but that does not stop the capture over from F1 left. Okay, so that is unfortunate, but commonly missed things in TAC are road threats. So missed roads. Let's see, my audio input is all the way up, and I do not have desktop audio on. So I don't know why the clacks are so much louder. Maybe I'm just not speaking loud enough. We'll see if that cuts it down. I'll bring the microphone a little closer. Okay. Game 2 is up, and we have a non-standard opening. All right. So not a corner placement by white, placing black's first stone. A corner placement by black. And then we have a little bit of a ladder build, and then a partner here for black. White just extending this ladder across the board. Black working on this horizontal. And white cuts through. Black continuing to build. White hoping that this c4 left here is going to aid them in a threat. This is same players as last time, My Lemon Lime and Ornable. They've just swapped colors. That's how we typically do our tournaments, is 2 games, one where you get to play black and one where you get to play white. Vogopolis, is that better microphone wise? Of course, now we probably don't have clacks at all. Or they're just soft. Okay, so things are about to come to a head here. We're going to have to end up with some tack threats here in a minute, and players are going to have to decide how they're going to deal with it. So black has some options here. I mean, placing at e4 is going to be pretty strong. That way, when you cut off this threat here, then you end up with your own threat coming across. White maybe should have placed to make that threat instead of capturing. Now we have a juicy stack that can run away. I don't think that can cause too much trouble in the future for black, but I could be wrong. Yep, just run that away. And then white can spend time chasing down these flats. But, I mean, black has time to build elsewhere now. They can drop their own flat here at c2, a3, and ignore that, and then just start a fight over b2 at some point in the future, which white may win that fight, but white can't really realize a whole lot of gain with that win. Especially now that there's a capstone here. See, black is just ignoring that. White can spread all along here. And then black places something like a3 next, I would guess. Ooh, a wall. Um, don't know that that was necessary. Um, Walls are very powerful defensively, but they do not help you at all with your flat count. Um, and in this case, a wall on the edge of the board can be built around easily in most cases. So this citadel shape forming here now means that this wall is not useless, but it's not going to be as effective as it would be if it were on like the mantle squares, this next concentric ring of squares in, or towards the center where it can kind of interfere with more of the plans. This is attack threat by black. We'll see if it's spotted. I would expect a3 right. Nope, and it's missed. Um, Again, this happens a lot. This is uh, kind of one of the things that you need to focus on in your TAC training are just road road threats, finding them, making them, recognizing them, being able to spot from a distance on the board what a threat is going to be in the next turn or two, and what a threat looks like on the board as is, from all different kind of rotations, transpositions of the board. And that way you're developing that kind of pattern recognition, and you can see it just immediately when you look at the board and go, "Hey, I'm in tech." But good games to these guys, and I'll congratulate them in the Discord. But looks like we have Ornable will be moving on to the finals for this 2025 Rogue Tournament thingy. All right. If anybody would like to review the game, just let me know. We can pop it into PTN Ninja and take a look around at what happened. Both of these games did not get too far into the game to kind of analyze a whole lot, but there's some we could look at. And if nobody has anything, then hope you guys have a good weekend. If Boris and Scalpel do happen to play at a time that I can commentate, then I will. But I'm not sure, they hadn't kind of nailed down a time last time. Last time I heard. And then I will be going to Gen Con. I leave on Wednesday, and I'll be gone till the following Monday. I guess that's August 4th. So if they play while I'm out of town, I might be able to stream it just from the hotel room, or I might have to do something where I review the game after the fact. But hopefully it'll come in a time that I can actually sit down and commentate. All right, I don't see anything coming into chat, and so that looks good. That looks good. And all right, yeah. So you guys have a good weekend. Thank you.